first of all, when we say prophecy, we are all learning today on the program. We want to learn. We want to open our minds and our hearts to consume whatever comes to us tonight. So let's learn together. You and I, let's learn together. When we say prophecy, first of all, what is it?
The Lord that bless men bless you and bless your viewers as well. When we say prophecy is a message, or prophecy is a communication from God to a prophet, to humanity, for a reason and for a purpose. Any blessed time a prophecy comes in picture or comes into play, then there is a need for a deliverance to either an individual, a family, a nation, or a kingdom. So without this, there wouldn't be a need for a prophet to give out a prophecy.
Right.
So the Bible said the other time in the book of Hosea, for by a prophet, Israel was brought out of Egypt, and by the same prophet, they were sustained or preserved. So the prophecy that is given by the prophet is not given for entertainment, but it is given for a performance. And out of that, the outcome is deliverance. The Lord that bless man bless you.
Okay, so I believe tonight we're going to get a lot of how do I say it? How do you call that? Because I realize anytime you speak, you make a statement. The Lord that bless man bless you.
The Lord that bless man bless you.
The Lord that bless men bless you. Is that some sort of incantation?
Oh no, really. You see, Bible said the other time that it is I, the Lord, that giveth thee power to make wealth. So the blessings of the Lord, or the blessings on a man, is geared or projected to a man by the reason of a God. So may that God that bless men bless you. It has nothing to do with an incantation, but it is a form of exhortation that exalts the spirit of a man, that there is a God behind every blessing.
Right.
And may that God that bless you.
I take it in faith, and I take it in faith. So let's go back to the conversation. Now, you fortunately told us what exactly prophecy means. First of all, how does a prophet receive a prophecy?
Okay.
And is there a direction as to how these prophecies should be given to those who deserve to hear it?
Okay. The Lord bless you. When you look at the question you are asking me, you should see that it is not everybody that I can't say that they hear from God. You see, because I said a prophecy is a communication from God to a prophet, then it means that it is God that reveals a vision or a revelation to a prophet to communicate to either a nation, a kingdom, an individual, or a family. And the reason for the real intent for this revelation to the prophet is to bring a deliverance to such a people I'm talking about. So whenever God wants to speak to a prophet per revelation or through a vision, what happens is that he communicates to the prophet in a language and in a tone they understand, through the medium that which they could have access through communication. When a blind man wants to be communicated, or when somebody wants to communicate to a blind man, because they have a barrier of communication by the reason of visual, automatically it will be very expedient for whoever that is talking to the blind man to communicate in a way they will understand, either by vocal. So when God is speaking to somebody who is blind, I don't think he will show the person visuals, but he will rather communicate to the person by the reason of speaking, so that the person could hear him right. So when we talk about how God communicates to a prophet, I would say it varies according to the level of understanding of the said prophet. So when God is communicating to a prophet, he gives him a message based on a language and a way they understand. And upon communicating to them, per the reason of the Spirit, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, the word of the Lord said, to the Spirit is given word of wisdom, word of knowledge, discernment, faith, miracle, a lot of things, which is, they are the 9 giftings of the Spirit that gives a man. So if you are a man of God, or if you're a prophet that hears from God, there are a lot of things that you should understand when you are delivering or putting across your prophetic message. Which one should be your word of wisdom and the other word of knowledge? And out of your words of wisdom, words of knowledge should help you communicate such a sensitive matter in the public, or even to the person privately. It is not just about communicating the prophecy in public. I remember once upon a time in the scripture, a king that had an issue to handle pertaining to two women that went to bed at night to sleep. I'm talking about 2 Kings, about the king called Solomon. The Bible said that when they brought the children to this man, according to the word of the Lord, he lifted the child. He said, let us separate the child into two. Per wisdom, he knew that as a woman who you call yourself a mother, you will not permit your child to be divided. But let me say that per wisdom and see their reaction. And one said that it will be very expedient on my part to separate the child so that we all have half piece of the child. And he could know by the reason of his wisdom that no, then the child is not for this woman, but it's rather for that woman. Why? Because per the reaction shows that the woman wants all of them to come to a place where they all have lost their child. So he knew that the child is for this and not for that. So in your delivery as a prophet, word of wisdom, word of knowledge is very significant when you are communicating matters of the spirit to individuals.
On the basis of this explanation, would you say that? Let me jump the gun. Probably we may come back to the basis of prophecies, but let me jump the gun at this time. Would you say that most of your colleague prophets have now turned, giving prophecies, or I'm trying to choose my words right. This is a very complicated conversation. I'm just trying to be as careful as possible. Would you say that some of your colleagues have turned the work of prophecy or prophesizing into a fanfare where they do it just to get the reaction from the crowd, from the masses? Is that what you think, or would you say that?
We assume that some of them are doing that because of the masses, but it's not always so.
But you agree that a number of your colleagues are doing that for the masses?
I won't say they are doing that for the masses.
But you agree on some basics that not every prophet probably just want to do it for the sake of the love of God.
We are talking based on your perspective. But when you are looking at it from a reality, it goes beyond popularity.
Right.
Prophecy is very delicate and sensitive that you will just have to speak to the public in the name of, I just want people to see that I am a prophet. He could have not been in the church. He could have found a media firm to pay them money. Just come and put a camera on them. I want you to broadcast this. And I think for the reason of your job as a media personality, if today I should bump into Metro TV and I say I have all my money, I want Metro TV to air me on their screen for a reason, I could just come and sit down, say anything I think I want, and out of that I feel by the reason of that I misinform the community or misinform the society who listens to Metro TV. It might not be aired, but because maybe I am doing the live, people could take me a picture or video and then publish it, and then it will bring me to the limelight. But we don't do prophecy because we want people to see that we can prophesy. But these reasons, let me go straight to the point. The reasons why a lot of times the society, quote and unquote, termed these things as popularity is because they only get to hear of it whenever it happens.
After it happens, after incidents actually happens.
But the truth of the matter is, it was said before time. But the problem we have in this community is that everybody is doing whatever they are doing for what they want, including the media personalities. So a media blogger will see this post, and because it has not happened, you don't see the need to publish it. The very moment it happened, they will caption it and then bring it out to make it look like, oh, it was said, but the society didn't pay attention. By the time it was said, this same media personality could have even projected it so that whoever that the prophecy was about could have heard it and then worked towards it. Because anytime a prophecy like this comes out, it is not for a distraction, as people say or call it doom, but it is for preparation, so that God would put things to order for the person to overturn situations. You see, we live in a generation where anything spiritual, we want to normalize it. Let me come to this thing. For instance, today, if I should tell you that per my intelligence as, let's say, a national security officer or a police officer or a military officer, I'm being told that you will be arrested on the way by gunmen. So don't use the route you use in your house.
God forbid anyways.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
God forbid anyways, but yes.
The very moment I say that, what you do is that you would begin to change your route so that you don't meet such thing.
Yeah.
It is not a doom message I've given you. But then you've told me intelligence.
But then you've told me personally.
Okay.
For me to be aware of my surroundings and my
so
movements.
now let me give a clue. I have seen this. I heard people talking about you, and I saw that they projected your picture. And when I saw it, I want to communicate to you, but I don't know you. What do? I can call out on the media, We live in a global world. We live in a global village.
But you see, Prophet, this is the case whereby people like, let's say, television personalities, news anchors, actresses, actors, public office holders, pastors. These are
Even
people where I'm using a certain type of people because these are people where it's easier for you to come to see them or meet them.
So?
I'm coming. Let's say if there is a prophet about a colleague here on Metro TV, and you come to the reception and say, "My name is so. I'm here to see Mr. Da 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 da." You think you will not be allowed to see the person?
Okay. It is
rather,
boss. It is easier said.
Forgive me, but rather than you
using wanting
to say it in front of the entire church, knowing very well it's a Sunday and there are cameras and people will hear and all that, and so you are channeling the message or the conversation through a different medium, hoping that it gets to the person that is supposed to get to. Meanwhile, you could have gone to see the person from the office or try to find out personally where they are. I've
been to an office before to look for somebody, and a secretary called the person and said, "Prophet so and so is here to look for you. Do you have an appointment with him?" No. I was walked away. I was sent away. It happens even in Metro TV. It happens even in these premises. It is possible.
Have you been here before to look for somebody?
No. But it is 201% possible, which you and I know that. If anybody should barge in here, I am looking for so and so, we would have to seek your consent. If you have a meeting with such a person, who is that? He is Prophet so and so. Where do he know me? What do he say? Who is he looking for? He's looking for. Tell him I'm not around, and he will leave. It has happened severally, unless maybe we are trying to overlook the reality on ground. There are a lot of times people have gone to offices to look for people on matters such like this, and they were drove away, all because they did not have any appointment with them. But if such a conversation is also communicated on air, somebody who is close to them, who they respect and highly respect too much, somebody like, let's say, a relative who have also heard, could say, "Oh, I heard a prophet say this. Oh, have you heard it? Oh, no. Then let's work on it." The person could also see a different man of God to work on it. And out of that, the message will reach that person. So in a way, it is also doing good to us. The only thing I have a personal problem with
as a prophet
is how we communicate the prophecy. But if we are saying, okay, let's assume I'm Prophet Jude. God has given me a revelation to give to you, and the revelation is good, and I communicate the revelation on social media, and I have an applause. This one is a very good prophecy. Prophet Jude did very well, and you heard it through the media, and you came to me, and then whatever that must to be done was done, and everything went well as it is. And the same medium, I get a wrong prophecy, and you tell me that because it is not something that pleases you, I should have found a way to reach out to you rather than communicating it out there.
Has it ever happened to you before where you actually gave a prophecy about somebody, either on social media or wherever it was, and the person wasn't happy about that? Has it happened to you before?
Oh, yes. I remember a young man from Akosombo. I was doing a midnight prayer, which is strictly online, and I ministered to him, and I told him that, young man, I am seeing an issue with your testicle, that it will be rotten. And for this reason and for that reason, that is why it will happen. And he said, I break it over my dead body. He didn't even ask what could be done about it. I left it hanging. I was there, and they brought him from Akosombo to my church, that the testicle is rotten. This is not a prophecy of doom. It was a prophecy to caution him, but he was very disobedient. So these prophecies we see as destruction or doom does not happen because God wants it to happen. No, it happens because God wants to put the country, the state of the country, or the individual or the kingdom to a place of repentance.
But by